Hey guys, it's Nolan from Trade and Train. Put my video camera on today for you so you know I'm real. I'm not some kind of robot or something. Right, this is our next video in the Back to Basics series. It's actually part 2 of support and resistance. I'm going to talk about trendline support and resistance. If you didn't catch the first video, I'll put the link to it in the comments and you can take a look at that. So without any further ado, right, if you remember, in an uptrend, price makes higher highs and higher lows. The price movement in line with the trend is called the impulse, and the price movement against the trend is called the correction. And we draw a trend line in an uptrend by connecting the lower lows and the tips of the wicks on the candles. So if you imagine this was price action, we've got price coming down, we have our low here, buyers come in, we form a new high, price comes back down again, corrects, makes a lower high, sorry, a lower low, do apologize, price moves to the upside, makes a new high, and what we do is we connect these lows in an uptrend to form our trend line. And as you can see, when price is coming down into the trend line, it's basically acting as an imaginary floor, okay, or what we call in the trading world support. You can imagine throwing a ball on the floor and it bouncing, throwing a ball on the floor and it bouncing. Now, in a downtrend, that's when price makes lower highs and lower lows. Again, we have our impulses and corrections, but this time the trend line is drawn by connecting the tips of the wicks of the lower highs, as shown here. But this time, price acts as something called resistance, or you can imagine it as an imaginary ceiling. You know, imagine you're at home, you throw the ball up in the air, it hits the ceiling, it bounces. You can also think of it as, you know, throwing a ball up in the air and just gravity itself will bring it back down again. Throw it up, it'll come back down again. But in a downtrend, the trend line acts as resistance or an imaginary ceiling. You can see, comes up, it bounces, comes up, it bounces, comes up, and it bounces. Let's take a look at a few examples. So this is an uptrend. This was actually the dollar CAD chart on the H4 time frame, I think, the 4-hour time frame. Remember, nothing in trading is picture perfect. I don't like to show picture perfect examples because life isn't like that in trading. But here, this is actually the impulse. We have our correction, impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, and we've got our trend line connecting the higher lows. The trend line won't always touch, you know, the wick, every single wick, you know, to the pip. Occasionally, you know, there might be a little bit of gapping like this, but you get the gist, don't you? You get the idea. Price is coming into that trend line, and it's time for those buyers to come in. It's time for the next impulse. In a downtrend, we connect those lower highs, as you can see. Okay, prices are making a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and that's what we do. We connect basically as many of the wicks as we can with the trend line. Now, it's not actually in the slides here, but sometimes price will break above the trend line in a downtrend or break below the trend line in an uptrend. And we get what's called false breaks. So I'm just going to quickly show you that while recording this video. I think, yeah, there's an example here on dollar CAD. If I do that, in fact, if I do that, there we go. Can you see this little trend here, this downtrend? So we would connect the highs. So we've got our high and we have a lower high. So we would connect that there, draw our trend line, bring it across or extend it across. And now we've got our price coming into our trend line here. So what actually happens? Well, in this case, price actually broke above the trend line. Eventually, on this 4-hour chart, it did actually close below. And if we take a look at the next price action, we can see that price kind of hovers around that trend line, doesn't it? And then starts to impulse again to the downside, and it makes a lower low. So the trend has been continued, but we wouldn't actually leave the trend line like that. Because we've still continued with the trend, we've made a lower low. You'd actually what's called, what I call evolving the trend line, or, basically moving the trend line to this. Because we don't leave it like this. We have the price action contained within the trend line. So the trend line is now connecting that high and this high with price totally below the trend line. So this is acting as resistance. So if this was an uptrend, price would have been, or the trend line would have been like this. We get our false break and we would adjust that trend line like this. So price is still totally contained within the trend line, as long as it continues to make higher highs. So that was your really quick lesson, back to basics lesson on trend line support and resistance, and how to draw trend lines as well. If you liked it, give us a like. If you know another trader or someone that might have liked the video, please share it. Make sure you subscribe to our Trade and Train channel as well on YouTube. Make sure you are subscribed to our free Telegram channel as well, because we do put lots of free information on there. What else have we got coming up? We've got a free health and wealth webinar coming up this Thursday at 6 p.m. London time. I'll put the link into the comments as well for that. So there's plenty of links coming up in the comments. But yeah, get involved. It's totally free. You can ask our head coaches, anything really, anything that you want to about trading, and hopefully we can, give you some great advice. And if you're struggling with trading, then you can talk to us. What are you finding? What are you finding problems with? And we can maybe even we'll do some videos for you. If you get back to us and you'd say you like to, you're struggling with a certain part of trading, we can do some videos on that as well for you and put them on YouTube, because you won't be the only person with a particular problem. There'll be lots of other traders. So put that in the comments. If you want to see further content on a particular aspect of trading, then let us know. But anyway, guys, from me, Nolan, and the Trade and Train team, we will see you in the next video. Bye for now.